the Rambam includes at the beginning of his law code, Sefer HaMadar, which is all about physics and metaphysics, and said all sorts of things that no one had ever said before. The real irony, though, was that Rambam was accused of being a heretic, and in failing to believe certain normative Jewish beliefs. In particular, he was accused of not believing in Tchiyat HaMeitim, the resurrection of the dead. Now, I can't begin to tell you how ironic this is. Number one, we wouldn't even have a set of Jewish beliefs were it not for Maimonides. He wrote what has come to be known as the Yud Gimel Ikarim, the 13 Principles of Jewish Faith, that you will find in the Siddur at the back of the davening, and you will find in the Siddur at the beginning of the davening in their poetic form called Yigdal. Yigdal is a poetic setting of the Rambam's 13 Principles of Jewish Faith. To accuse him of lack of Jewish faith when he defined in the first place what Jewish faith is ironic. Secondly, it is particularly ironic since every single place that he ever mentioned the 13 principles of Jewish faith, he included in them Tchiyat HaMeitim, faith in the resurrection of the dead. So how they managed to accuse him of denying what he affirmed in all his writings whenever you raised the matter, I don't know. And yet he still was forced in his lifetime to write a treatise called Igeret Tchiyat HaMeitim, in which he defended his belief in the resurrection of the dead. So it was ironic and it was foolish, but it was much worse than that. Because the truth is that when the Dominicans heard that the Jews regarded Maimonides as a heretic, they, in 1232, burned Maimonides' writings. After all, if the Jews say they're heresy, why shouldn't we say they're heresy and do the kind of thing you do with heretical stuff, which is get rid of it? And then, thus emboldened, a mere 8 years later, in 1240, they carried out one of the worst book burnings in history. And that is the reason why we have, for instance, no complete manuscript edition of the Talmud. Why all sorts of major Jewish works were lost forever. Some of them were thought to be lost, were eventually discovered in the Vatican Library. They hadn't mentioned this for 500 years, the commentaries of Meiri, for instance. So, it was very, very foolish and very disastrous what they did to Maimonides. And I really feel for him. Having been there a little bit myself, I realized that, people condemn what they don't understand. And I think we all need a little more humility than that.